hi guys. Welcome back. How are you? These lights feel very bright and blinding. I'm 5 days post-op for my what's called PRK, otherwise known as LASIK surgery. It's just a different version though of LASIK, so it takes a longer recovery, which is why I'm 5 days out and the light is like absolutely not my friend. So I am sitting down because nothing else would make me film a video other than this new beauty. This is the Kosas, what is it called even? DreamBeam Comfy Smooth Sunscreen. That's cute. The packaging is adorable. Like, I know Kosas has totally rebranded themselves and I think they've done a good job. It does feel very like Gen Z, but at the same time, like, I don't hate this at all. I think it's also very like conveniently packaged, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna like the sunscreen. So I am sitting down, burning my retinas out, which my doctor would not be happy about for you guys. And hopefully, since I'm doing that, you can give this video a like and consider subscribing. So I will try to get this up as quickly as possible because I know it is a new SPF, but we're gonna do what I always do. I'm gonna be applying it to a bare face. I have not worn sunscreen in like 5 days because I have not left my house. I've not been outside of my little bedroom hole, and I'm gonna apply it, zoom you in, you know the deal. So let's just get in. I'll talk about the specs when I put this on my face and we'll go through the review. So this is the Kosas DreamBeam silicone-free mineral sunscreen SPF 40 with ceramides and peptides. It retails for $40, which is a lot because it only comes in 40 milliliters or 1.3 fluid ounces. You know, this is a luxury brand. This is a Sephora brand. So if you're willing to pay that, it's kind of what it is. I always tell people, like, it's what the market will bear. People will pay for this, so they're going to keep making it. But if that's too much for you, I completely understand and don't buy it. It's really that simple. So what is it? It's a clean, I hate that word, silicone-free comfy mineral sunscreen packed with ceramides and peptides. It has a radiant finish and is hydrating. So it has 21.7% non-nano zinc oxide, but you know what I'm gonna say, right? It also has beta-lactal salicylate. So the reason I say this and I keep saying it is because for some people this means nothing. It doesn't irritate their skin. They don't really care. They don't know. For other people, they may have had issues with mineral sunscreens in the past. They can't always figure out why, because mineral sunscreens are kind of supposed to be, and I say that with air quotes, they're supposed to be gentler on your skin if you have sensitive skin or whatnot, but they're not always. And sometimes it's because beta-lactal salicylate is in there and it's not listed as an active ingredient for the SPF protection, but it kind of operates in that way. So if you've noticed some mineral sunscreens just not really working well for you, take a look. If they have beta-lactal salicylate, that might be the culprit. If not, if that doesn't mean anything to you and you don't care, then just keep using it. That's what I always say. It's kind of a personal preference. And then of course, some people don't like the fact that it's kind of greenwashing. So they're saying that this is 100% mineral and it's not actually. But I think for some things like that, you could look at an ingredient list for so many quote unquote clean sunscreens. And I would say that most of them probably have a few ingredients that are not necessarily natural, that are somewhat synthetic. So, you know, you pick your battles sometimes. I also don't think I mentioned, but it doesn't say on the packaging, but it does say in the description on Sephora, sorry, I have cat hairs on my face, that it is PA+++, so 4 pluses. So it is a higher rating, and it does have SPF 40, which I believe I already said as well. They don't really add it to any packaging or like marketing, but it does say that it's water resistant, which I know is a big one for people with mineral sunscreens because there aren't that many water resistant ones, but I don't see anywhere where it says how long. You know, they're not really calling it out like very explicitly, which if they put it on the actual like description on Sephora, I doubt that it would be a lie, but also sometimes like you want to call that out because it's pretty important and it's unique for a lot of other mineral sunscreens. So I would say it might be, but just take caution and just reapply if you are out in the sun or out in water. And then the last thing that I did want to talk about is the kind of the undertone, the hue. It looks pretty standard to me, like a tinted sunscreen, but it kind of does have a little bit of a different tint to it So I do think that this tint, and that wasn't a great image of it or swatch of it, but if you look up close, which you can't do right now, but I'm looking for you, it has like this kind of peachy pink kind of undertone, and it's not a lot. So it's not like a heavily pigmented one where you can have it double as your foundation. This one just kind of, I would say, canceled out that white cast from the zinc oxide more than anything. But I do really like the tone of it. And that's not to say that it's gonna work for all skin tones, but for me, it kind of works. I also find that it has this really nice kind of radiance to it. And I'm not talking shine, I'm not talking greasiness. I'm talking, there's probably something in here, let me look. Probably like iron oxides or something that is giving it this kind of like iridescence almost, but I will check. Yes, the last two ingredients are iron oxides, also titanium dioxide, and let's see what else. There's also silica. So, and mica. So that's exactly what it is. But it does have this kind of like sheen to it. And I know you can see that it looks shiny under the lights. It doesn't feel as shiny as it looks, and I think it's because of that. It does have some oils in there. I don't think it has any butter. So you are gonna get some hydration for your drier skin. I wouldn't necessarily say that this one is going to be the best for dry skin people. I don't think it's gonna be bad at all. I think it's gonna give you nice hydration, moisture. I just don't think it's gonna give you the most that you can get out there. And for my oilier skin people, I think you're actually going to like it if you want this glowy look. Like for me, I have normal to oily to combo kind of skin these days. And sometimes when I get a really glowy sunscreen like this one, this is the Eucerin Tinted Mineral Sunscreen. Either I have a reel or short on that, and I think I did a video on it as well. But that one is just like, pow, like I got all the moisture I could ever need. It's too much for my combo skin. This one, I feel like it is a beautiful base, and it's not gonna dry down 100%, but I can work with this. Like I can put a little concealer on and then I can powder and it's gonna look fabulous, I can guarantee you. Or I can put foundation or a tint over it and it's also gonna look fabulous. Or I can wear it alone, which is actually really exciting because I don't feel like it's going to make me look like I walked out of a disco ball. So it's kind of, I think, I would say, this is maybe one of the few that I would say is for kind of all skin types, because they always say that on the Sephora website, and I'm always like, no, that's not true. But I think you can get kind of what you're looking for with all skin types. You might need to put a little bit more powder if you are more oily, and you might need to put a moisturizer if you are drier. But I think this is going to work for a good number of people, which is super exciting to say. Again, the price is high. It is a Sephora brand, you know. If you use this and this is your only sunscreen, you're gonna go through it pretty quickly. So consider that as part of it, but so far so good for me. What I'm gonna do now though, I am going to wear it for the rest of the day, which I got a very late start on this video, so we'll wear it for probably like another 6 hours or so, and then I will check back in. I just wanna let you know, I didn't forget my eyelids. I just don't wanna put anything on my eyelids right now. Like my eyes are still kind of sensitive. So this putting sunscreen on was like my first step. We'll progress to wearing more makeup as my eyes heal. But I think that's it for right now. I'm gonna sit with it. I don't know if I'm actually gonna put more makeup on. I think I might stay with just this today. And then I'll check back in at the end of the day and let you know. So first thoughts, first impressions, I am really impressed. Okay guys, see you in a little bit. Hi guys, I am checking in later in the day to give you kind of my thoughts on this. And I'm not saying that they're my final thoughts because of course I'm just wearing this for the first time today, but I really like it. This is, I feel like one of those kind of rare products as far as sunscreen goes where it doesn't feel like it's drying. Like my face doesn't feel dry, but it doesn't feel tacky and sticky. Like maybe like a little bit, but nothing I can't deal with. I'm okay with it. It doesn't feel mattifying. It doesn't feel glowy or dewy. It's like this perfect kind of combination, which I was not expecting. And it's just really pleasant to wear. Like I am going to work out right now, and I think I may actually leave it on while I work out, which I never do with almost any sunscreen, just because I don't mind it on my face. I think this is one of those sunscreens that, like I said before, it's actually going to work for quite a few different skin types. Now, if you are the driest of the dry, is this something I would recommend? No, like that's just not maybe the best. Like I showed you whatever, the Eucerin one, much better option. There are plenty that are going to give you more moisture, more glow, if that's what you're looking for. But if it's something that you're kind of considering, I would say you could layer it over a really thick moisturizer if that's what you normally do, and it would provide more kind of, this isn't going to provide the moisture, but your moisturizer would. So it could work. Now, if you're normal, you're going to love it because it's going to give you this really nice glow. It's going to give you some of this iridescence, and I don't mean it like glitter or like particles. It's just like this really fine like sheen almost to it that's not too glowy, but also not makeup-y. It's an interesting kind of look to it. But back to the normal skin people, I think this you're gonna love. I think for oily skin people, it could also be something you really like. You will probably need to blot, you will probably need to powder if you really are oily skin, but it could also just be a really nice base underneath your makeup if you're going for a glowier look. So this would be like one of the few times that I would say I'm not mad when they say it's for all skin types, because I think it actually kind of is. So far, I've been absolutely loving it. I know I'm going to be reaching for it more, especially as I can start to wear more makeup. I think it's just going to layer underneath makeup really well. I don't foresee that it being like pilling or anything. Normally, if a sunscreen pills under makeup, not always, but it will pill a little bit on its own around my edges of my hair and everything. So I can kind of get a sense for it before I even put makeup on. This one, I didn't have any pilling. I didn't have any weird kind of like streakiness. You know, if I did, it's because I'm still like half blind, but it wasn't the product's fault. So I'm so excited to keep using this. And I know there are so many products out there these days. So, you know, I don't want you to just jump off your couch and go get this if that's kind of what you're eyeing to do. But basically what I'm trying to say is put it in your cart if you are shopping this for a sale. I will try to get this up before that goes live. I don't know if that's possible, but maybe wait until next Sephora sale, because I do think that this is a pretty useful sunscreen to have in your arsenal if this is something that interests you. The other thing I would say is I think it's actually going to be pretty useful year round, which is not always the case with a lot of sunscreens, because the fact that it kind of does set down, and I don't mean set like fully set, but it doesn't leave my skin too tacky where like my skin is sticking to my face. Like, what I'm trying to say though is that I think it can work in multiple seasons. I think you maybe have to powder a little bit more in the summer and warmer months, but in the winter you would just have to layer a little bit more if you are drier skinned. But I love that about it, and I don't look at all my sunscreens, which I have a lot of, and think bad of many of them. So it's definitely going to be holding a place in the top spot for me, and if I don't drop it and break it, I will be enjoying wearing it. So not expecting this, really not expecting it. I mean, I don't know what to expect from Kosas these days. Like, it's also a makeup brand, so who knows? We all learned something today. All right, guys. If you did enjoy this video, if you're still watching, give it a big old thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up for my eyes that I am filming again, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!